On today's show, Sistema New Brunswick launches in St. Stephen.
Musician Jacob Rose performs Wharfbound and takes the Good Day from the Bay questionnaire.
Plus, we find out what you love most about fall in New Brunswick.
From your hometown local station, this is Good Day from the Bay with Vicki, Hogarth, and Jonathan Brittan.
Good Day from the Bay. I'm Vicki Hogarth.
And I'm Jonathan Brittan. Good day from the Bay, everyone.
Welcome to another exciting episode where we explore the best of Southwest New Brunswick. Jonathan, fall is now upon us, and that can only mean one thing.
Oh, of course. As a former barista, it means pumpkin spice lattes.
Okay. Other than pumpkin spice lattes.
How about foliage?
Okay, that is also an acceptable answer, but it's not what I'm getting at.
Well, let me keep going. Apple picking, pumpkin patches, layering, sweater weather.
Okay. I stand corrected. Fall means a lot of things, especially to Jonathan. But what I was getting at is that school is now back in full swing.
Oh, of course. That was going to be my next guess after Thanksgiving and fireside evenings.
Fair enough. Well, Charlotte County students have a lot more reason to love being back in school this year with the launch of the incredible Sistema program right here in St. Stephen.
On today's episode, Vicki and I travel to Milledgeville North School in St. John to see the talented Sistema kids in action and find out how the classical music program will take shape at St. Stephen Elementary School.
And later in the show, we'll have a special performance by Charlotte County musician Jacob Rose, who will perform his new single, Wharfbound, and take the Good Day from the Bay questionnaire.
But first, let's kick off things today with today's question of the day. What do you love most about fall in New Brunswick?
We asked you on Facebook, and we also hit the streets to hear what you had to say. Let's take a look.
It's the best time of the year as far as I'm concerned. You get lots of sunshine. And it's not too hot, not too humid, and you can walk and do everything you want in the summer, and you can do it in the fall, and it's just great.
The leaves changing, it's more peaceful, the town comes back to semi-normal, and it's you can get a parking spot, it's all good.
Well, the cut out of the leaves, and drive around the back roads this weekend, and beautiful. Does that every year.
Well, they answered that question better than I did. Anyway, fall in our region is truly something special. And as we mentioned, it's even more incredible this year in Charlotte County with the Sistema New Brunswick expanding its reach into our community.
Jonathan and I recently visited Milledgeville North School in St. John to see the program in action. While we were there, we had the pleasure of chatting with Ken Mainville, President and CEO of the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra, as well as Rachel Kidd, the Center Director for Sistema in St. John, and Katrina McClanahan, who's leading the launch of Sistema in St. Stephen, which marks the program's second rural location. Let's take a look.
Music has the power to change lives, and nowhere is this more evident than in the Sistema New Brunswick program, where children are not just learning to play instruments, they're building a brighter future.
To go back to the beginning of Sistema, it started 50 years ago in Venezuela, in Caracas, Venezuela. A conductor there by the name of, his last name's Abreu, he's a world famous conductor. He began just in a gymnasium with about 10 kids that he started to show them how to play the violin and encourage them to come back. And they've been coming back now for 50 years. Generations of kids have been coming. And they have had well over 500,000, maybe it's even closer to 1 million now, individuals who've gone through the El Sistema program. And it's spread to 70 countries around the world. Well, it was 16 years ago where Ken McLeod, who was president of the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra, the volunteer president of the board, he had 2 daughters in the orchestra, and he began to think, why only 70 kids? The New Brunswick Youth Orchestra was the top 70 kids who would audition to be in the orchestra. Why only 70 every year because he saw the impact that it had on his own daughter's lives. And I have a similar story. I had 2 children in the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra. And so when he began to talk about bringing a Sistema-based program to New Brunswick, several of us got really excited about the potential of that program. And so it was 15 years ago, so 2009, that it started in a basement in Beaver Brook School in Moncton with 50 kids. And now, today, we have 9 centers around the province with 1,200 kids per day in those 9 centers. And they're there throughout the whole school year, 5 days a week for 3 hours a day of intense rehearsal and training.
Sistema New Brunswick, now in its 15th year, has grown into Canada's largest orchestral program and employing 60 professional teaching artists.
Yes, well, the way we started Sistema New Brunswick was as a social development program. So we changed our mission statement of the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra organization back then to the mission of the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra is to inspire children and youth to achieve their full potential by learning and performing orchestral music. And so that was our inspiration. How can we reach more children? So we're not a replacement for the standard music program in school for all children. We're actually specifically focused on those who are otherwise considered left out. They're left out of other opportunities. And so we have 4 basic pillars. Inclusion is the first, so we're looking for those who would otherwise be left out. And then intensity, that 3 hours per day, 5 days a week, that's an intense program. And then excellence is another pillar of what we're doing. And so we have these phenomenal teaching artists that we have throughout our 9 centers. We have 60 teaching artists. We're actually the largest employer of professional artists in Atlantic Canada. And we are also the largest Sistema-based program in Canada. So we've grown a lot over these years. Our 4th pillar is ensemble-based learning. And so that also is a big factor in our success when it's not just individual lessons, although some of our kids who are more interested in going on and reaching higher levels, they will have some private lessons throughout. But the core of our training is ensemble-based. We knew right away, it was sort of an experiment when we first started. Will this work here in New Brunswick? And we knew right away that attendance was improving, grades were improving, people, young children as young as grade 1, wanting to come to school, wanting to be a part of the program. And so we saw the results early on, and as we saw that, we just began to continue to build momentum. Let's reach more schools. And so a lot of that is funding based, and so we have a great partner with the province. They've been our partner from the beginning, and they provide us with schools and transportation, so space and transportation, and some core funding. But also we do a lot of fundraising to fund the expansion, and we've had a really successful campaign to fund into the next 15 years to continue to expand. We have plans to reach a total of 10,000 children over the next 15 years in New Brunswick. Now, it's not fully funded. We have a long way to go to reach the affordability of that vision, but we're having great success. So we're moving forward with it, and we really want to move the needle on child poverty in New Brunswick. There are other Sistema-based programs across Canada, but we're clearly known as the leading program, and so we have visitors come from all over Canada and the US and elsewhere, and we're getting invitations, international invitations. In fact, we were invited to play at Carnegie Hall last year. It was a phenomenal trip. They had special New Brunswick jackets made for the whole orchestra, and I've heard the story of this sea of New Brunswick flag jackets walking through the streets of New York. There was 110 of them, so it was quite a sight, and it was just a phenomenal experience. And to be invited to play at Carnegie Hall and then to play and perform in such a prestigious, world famous venue. It was a thrill of a lifetime for them.
The program is entirely free, allowing children starting as early as grade 1 to participate for 3 hours after school, 5 days a week, totaling an impressive 600 hours annually.
Through this rigorous commitment, music and the orchestra become a powerful catalyst for achievement and social development, helping these young musicians reach their full potential.
So right now we have about 230 in our daily program. We started the year at 250, so it's a lot of traffic. Here at Milledgeville North, we have 19 classrooms. We're in one of them right now. And some of the space we share with the school and some of the space is dedicated. And yeah, our day-to-day life looks like meeting all of those kids off the bus when they get there after school. They come in different stages, so their buses arrive between 2 o'clock and 3:30. And we work with them at a very high level every day, teaching music, repeating the same things over and over again and getting them to practice, and they get better and better. And we've been doing it now in this center for, I think this is the 12th year we've been at Milledgeville North, and this is the 11th year that I've been here. So we have a graduated orchestra where the kids, once they hit high school, they can't continue committing to 3 hours after school every day. But they're at a level that's high enough to go into a symphony orchestra that meets twice a week in the evenings in the St. John Youth Orchestra. So the kids who have been here the longest are participating in the St. John Youth Orchestra, and part of being in that orchestra is they come back and they volunteer whenever they can at Sistema. And that's kind of the best part for me, is seeing them go from needing instruction and needing correction to turning around and giving instruction and giving correction. Actually, last week we had one of our graduates start as an intern, and so she's being paid through the SEED program. She's at university now, and she is now my colleague, which is really neat. And she's incredibly trustworthy and hardworking, and all of them are when they get that far in the program. So that's probably my greatest joy, is watching them grow up. What they're doing is hard, and they're going to make mistakes and sound bad many times at many different levels. And it's learning how to overcome that difficulty and have the confidence to play out and to do it again and again. And seeing that change in a kid who's too shy to play by themselves, who's suddenly starring on the stage, I see that time and time again, and that's one of the things I feel most proud of when I see that happen.
Sistema New Brunswick's impact reaches far beyond New Brunswick. The Children's Orchestra has been invited to play at some of the world's most impressive venues.
This summer, they had the unique opportunity to perform alongside best-selling author Dan Brown in Moncton and at the Kira Amphitheatre in St. Andrews. Brown, known for his thrilling novels like The Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons, is also a composer and musician. He joined the Sistema New Brunswick Children's Orchestra for a special performance of his musical work, Wild Symphony.
When life trips them up a bit, cats just make the best of it.
And now, the transformative power of music is coming to St. Stephen. This fall, St. Stephen Elementary and Milltown Elementary will welcome a new after-school violin program as part of Sistema New Brunswick's expansion into rural communities.
The program is going to be based at St. Stephen Elementary, but there'll be 25 students from Milltown and St. Stephen Elementary, so the kids from Milltown will be bussed over after school, and then the district is providing busing home, so all the students will be transported home at the end of the program. We're going to have a violin program because we're a small program to begin with, so it will be one teaching artist and we'll have one EA to support them, and 25 students in the first year, and then we'll grow that over the next 3 years to hopefully reach 75 students and 3 teaching artists.
With the launch of Sistema in St. Stephen, more children will have the chance to explore their musical talents, build confidence, and be part of something truly special. We can't wait to see the magic that unfolds here.
And it's a huge deal for our community because there aren't a lot of opportunities for music instruction and the arts in our community right now. And there's a big barrier in having to travel to St. John to be able to access those kind of opportunities. So yeah, it's huge. We're very excited. When I talk to people about this, I say, like, a big part of my job as community school coordinator is trying to level the playing field and make sure all the students have equal opportunities. And a lot of what we do might be a drop in the ocean, but this is such an intensive program that is truly life-changing, and it feels like a really big deal. It feels like the most important thing that I'll have been a part of since I've been in this position. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah, it's really important. It's absolutely going to change lives. And just that whole piece of learning that you can do difficult things. And there's so many ways that learning music influences literacy and math and working together as a team and confidence and all of those things. So it's going to make a big difference. And Sistema, I mean, they've proven there's a lot of students that have come up through the program that have gone on and got full ride scholarships to university that probably wouldn't have got those otherwise. So, you know, it really truly changes lives, and they'll be like the first people in their families going to university. So yeah, it's huge. It's really exciting. And also the cultural aspect for the whole community, even the kids that are not part of Sistema will be able to come to classical music concerts. They'll be exposed to all of these things. We'll have these amazing artists living in our community who will also be performing and possibly teaching on the side. So there's going to be other opportunities that it'll bring. So yeah, we're really excited.
We welcome inquiries. This is why we chose St. Stephen. We had heard from so many people in Charlotte County saying this would be a good place for our Sistema program. Would you come? And so it was on our radar, and we were looking for the timing, and we're thankful that we found that now. And so we welcome conversations with we have a few in mind to roll out over the next few years, but it would be getting in touch with us. And then we have meetings, and the process is that the school district has to agree and say yes, we'll support this, because that's where the space and transportation comes in. They have to accommodate that. So when a school district superintendent has made that decision that they will support it, then we can explore moving in, and we really rely on local community support as well. We've done some fundraising on a provincial and national level, but we're not fully funded yet. So we look to the communities to raise some of the budget for us, and we've been so encouraged by the response in Charlotte County so far. It's been great. So we have a lot of momentum going into that, and I'm so excited, and I actually tear up most of the time when I see the kids play, because I think they sound so good at such a young age, and what an impact this is going to have on the rest of their lives. And you know, we're seeing kids who've been, now that we've been running the program for 15 years, we've seen kids grow up all the way through, get a full scholarship to university at some of the top schools, the largest schools of music in Canada, and then write to us to say, thank you so much for what you did. It was more than just the music. You changed my life, and I want to come back and teach. And so we're seeing this full circle thing happening, and it's just amazing.
Wow, what an inspiring program. It's wonderful to see the impact Sistema is having on our youth, and we're excited to see it grow right here in St. Stephen.
Absolutely. And there's much more to come on today's show. After the break, we'll be joined by the talented Jacob Rose, who will perform his new single, Wharfbound, and take the Good Day from the Bay questionnaire.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Long to be back home, where I know
Welcome back to Good Day from the Bay. Here in studio now is Jacob Rose, a local singer-songwriter, to perform his newly released song, Wharfbound.
Thanks.
Life is filled with all the love we make. Pictures of the things we give and take. Not sure how I got so far away. I long to be wharfbound. I long to be wharfbound. It's the warmest feeling that I have found. I long to be wharfbound in my hometown. A precious face, a faded memory. There's a place providing remedy. And I know now where I long to be. I long to be wharfbound. I long to be wharfbound. It's the warmest feeling that I have found. I long to be wharfbound in my hometown. I long to be back home, where I know I'm not alone. I long to be back home, but my heart is overthrown. I long to be wharfbound. I long to be wharfbound. I long to be wharfbound in my own town.
That was beautiful.
You're looking at the full studio audience, right?
Thank you so much.
I have to ask Jacob, because I couldn't think of a better show than Good Day from the Bay to have your television premiere of Wharfbound.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what inspired the song.
Yeah, so I want to say back in 2022, I met up with Sean Corey and Jordan Grant, so two other local musicians and songwriters, fantastic. And we met at St. Andrew's Brewing Company, where there's a beer called Wharfbound, and we got to chatting, and Sean said to me, "Oh, you know, we should get together and write a song sometime." And so we're like, "All right, let's go ahead and do it." And you know, there's no expectations, and we were sitting there, and we're just trying to think, okay, well, what do we want to write a song about? And just really tongue-in-cheek, we're like, "Oh, let's write a song called Wharfbound." And then this song just came pouring out of it, and it's, you know, it was just so fun.
It doesn't hurt that you're looking right at a wharf when you're at the brewing company.
Yeah, right?
And
Yeah.
you're also based in St. Stephen, so another hometown with a wharf as
Yeah,
well.
and so, you know, coming home from work in St. Stephen, you know, my wife and I would often just walk up and along the river there and right down by the wharf, so lots of time spent around the wharf. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
So I know that you're not originally from this area.
Yeah.
You're from Alberta?
From
originally?
Alberta, a really
Yeah.
small town, a few hours south of Calgary.
Right, and so
Yeah.
what brought you east?
The big thing was I went to the university in St. Stephen.
Okay.
I did my undergraduate there from 2016 to the end of 2019. Met my wife there, and at the time, girlfriend, decided to stick around in St. Stephen, and you know, COVID hit and blah, blah, blah. So kind of really, really love it here. Met so many great people and connections, and just found so much joy being here.
So imagine, is your wife
Yeah.
an East Coaster? Is that?
She's actually from Ontario. We both met at the university.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so newly planted Maritimers. Wonderful, wonderful. Excellent.
Now, Jacob has also agreed to be the Good Day from the Bay questionnaire taker on our show today.
Yes.
There's one an episode, so it's quite a privilege, we like
excited.
to think.
Yeah.
Are you ready to kick
I'm
it
ready.
off?
Yeah. Are you ready? That's
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay. Question 1.
Okay.
What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
Most adventurous thing I ever done. I would probably say when I was going to the university in St. Stephen, there were a couple of travel programs that I did with my classmates as part of our studies, and so I would probably say doing that and going to Southeast Asia for a semester or going to Europe for a semester. I could say that, or I could say the most adventurous thing was moving out of my parents' house and becoming an adult and finding my way.
Excellent.
And those two go hand in hand, it
Yes.
sounds like.
Yeah, totally.
If you could eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay. Really tricky. I would probably say I would want to do Thai food. I really like Thai food, or just any form of curry.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. I love Thai food too.
Yes.
That's a good one. Okay. What's your favorite local place to celebrate with friends or family?
Oh, jeez. That's a tough one. Apart from just sitting in the dooryard or just hanging out at friends' places, I would probably have to say love going to McGuire, love going to the brewery. Yeah, probably. But I mean, there's so many. How can you choose?
And for people at home that might not know exactly what brewery, you mean the St. Andrews?
St. Andrews Brewing Company. Yes.
Yes. Where you can be found during the day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I spent a lot of time there behind the bar.
Yeah. He's not, well, that we know of anyway, a professional alcoholic. So, okay. What's your favorite local festival or event?
These are really difficult questions. I mean, Paddlefest is awesome. Winter Warmer is great. The Oktoberfest at St. Andrews Brewing Company, that one's super fun too. That's what I would have to go for.
Final answer.
Music related.
Perfect.
Everything is great.
And if you thought that question was difficult, get ready for what keeps you awake at night with worry.
Imposter syndrome. Either that or I just found out that I've got ADHD, and so being able to just calm my mind down to be able to fall asleep is a little tricky to do sometimes, and it could be just really silly stuff. But yeah, I care a lot about music and writing songs that move me and can potentially move others, and just want to make sure that I'm doing that well. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Who in your life do you look up to the most?
There's a really long pause.
That's right.
Saying the wrong name can be bad if
Yeah,
you're watching at home.
when I was in the second grade, we had a writing assignment to send a letter to somebody that you looked up to, and I struggled with this even back then. But at that time, I was really looked up to Michael Jordan. But I think anybody who's really invested in the community is doing their work to make this community that you live in, or this community specifically, a better place for everyone, I think is definitely worth looking up to.
Mm-hmm. So. You have the Michael Jordan wingspan too.
Oh yeah,
famous poster from. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Easy, flight. Ever since I was a kid reading comic books, I thought the superheroes that could fly were the coolest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice. I would say, I don't think I can narrow it down to one, but the one that's sticking out to me right now is feelings follow action. So if you have a hard time finding the motivation to do something, sometimes you just have to start, and then the feeling will come, and then there's that reward process there.
That's very good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is.
Shout out to my therapist for that. Yeah, great.
What accomplishment are you most proud of?
Any time that I get to release a song is always huge. There's always so much work. And blood, sweat, and tears that go into that. Getting married last year was awesome. That's been really great. Love being married. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your guilty pleasure or current obsession?
I love watching English football.
Oh, wow.
I've become a really huge Liverpool fan.
Okay.
And so I'm following that, and that's my thing right now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What is
That or aged cheese. yeah, I really like cheese.
the two together?
Yeah,
there you go. You're in heaven.
So this could lead to the next question.
Okay.
What is your favorite smell?
Oh, I see where you're going. Coffee. Nice. It's coffee for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, last question. If you could invent a holiday, what would it celebrate and how would you celebrate?
So, I think what it would be, I need to come up with a name for it. My favorite holidays right now are Thanksgiving and Easter, because growing up, it was always about just eating together and just spending time with friends and family. So it would be another version of those, but probably sometime in the summer so that we could just do more of it. Food Fest, maybe?
Food Fest. Very good.
On that, you are now officially known by
Yeah, I did it. I passed. Amazing.
But for those, Jacob, who have heard your music maybe for the first time, where can they find more of it?
Yeah, totally. So jacobrosemusic.com. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you stream music. Or come down to St. Andrew's Brewing Company. I'm usually there. And we can hook you up with something.
Absolutely. And if you haven't had the chance to see Jacob live, look for his listings. It's always a great experience. I always love seeing him play.
Thank you.
So great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome. Thank you so much for the time.
So much. When we come back from break, we will be sharing with you your milestones. But as we go to commercial, we'd love for Jacob to close us out for this segment with another song.
Thank you. Life is filled with all the love we make. Pictures of the things we give and take. Not sure how I got so far away. I long to be wharfbound. I long to be wharfbound. It's the warmest feeling that I have found. I long to be wharfbound in my hometown. Precious face, faded memory. There's a place providing remedy. I know now where I long to be. I long to be wharfbound. I long to be wharfbound. It's the warmest feeling that I found. I long to be wharfbound in my hometown. I long to be back home where I know I'm not alone. I long to be back home, but my heart is overthrown. I long to be wharfbound. I long to be wharfbound. I long to be wharfbound in my hometown.
Welcome back to Good Day from the Bay.
Now it's time for one of our favorite segments, celebrating the milestones and special moments in our community. First up, congratulations to Jean and Joyce Tatton of St. Andrews, who celebrated 70 years of marriage at the W.C. O'Neill Arena at the end of August. Wow, 7 decades. That's quite the accomplishment.
We also have to celebrate some newlyweds. On August 30th, Henry Hansen of St. Andrews married his bride Maria at the All Saints Anglican Church at a ceremony officiated by Archdeacon John Matheson. Congratulations, Henry and Maria.
We also want to wish a very happy anniversary to Sarah and Saheem Carius of St. George, who celebrated 25 years together on September the 16th.
Next, I want to wish my parents, Bob and Peggy Hogarth, a happy 49th anniversary, which they celebrated on September 12th. I guess that gives me 1 year to plan a big party for the 5-0.
And speaking of milestones, Chestnut Hall in St. Andrews is celebrating its 200th anniversary this year. Built in 1824, this historic building has seen a lot over the centuries. It's now home to the Ross Memorial Museum.
The town recently held a special event to mark this occasion with remarks from Deputy Mayor Kate Akagi, St. Croix MLA Kathy Baucus, MP John Williamson, and Norma Stewart. They also remembered the late Carrie Crest, the longtime curator of the Ross Memorial Museum, who passed away in July. Carrie's passion and dedication to preserving our history left a mark on our community and our hearts. We miss you, Carrie.
Finally, Sunbury Shores Arts and Nature Center continues to celebrate their 60th anniversary all year long. We were thrilled to attend the opening night celebration of their 60th anniversary exhibit, featuring artwork by over 60 artists who've helped shape the Arts Center over the years.
What a party. If you have a milestone or celebration you'd like to share with us, be sure to send it to goodday@chco.tv. We love celebrating with you.
We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Good Day from the Bay.
We hope you've enjoyed kicking off the fall season with us here today.
Now, I have a confession to make. I enjoy looking at the foliage almost as much as I enjoy saying the word foliage. Foliage. Try it.
Okay, good. Foliage.
There you go.
It does sound very sophisticated, but I want to rewind for a second and remember back to August when you and I did the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge on the wharf right here in St. Andrews. We did it in honor of the 10th anniversary of the viral videos that have helped raise awareness and funds for the illness.
We filled giant buckets with ice and freezing cold water and needed help lifting them over our heads because they were so heavy.
All right, are you ready? Let's do all dance. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Wow! Okay.
And it was worth it. And not just because we did it for a good cause, but also because we challenged St. Andrews Mayor Brad Henderson to do the challenge next, along with the counselor of his choice.
Well, leave it to our legendary mayor to take things to the next level. He invited not just one, but 3 counselors to join him, Steve Neal, Kurt Gumashell, and Jamie Hurdle for the challenge this September. Let's take a look.
All right, this is the 10-year anniversary of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. We were not thankfully, but challenged nonetheless by Vicki Hogarth and Jonathan Brittan from Good Day by the Bay. My name is Brad Henderson, Mayor of the town of St. Andrews, and they challenged myself, plus a fellow counselor, and I thought anything better than one is more. So with me is
Councillor Steve Neal,
Councillor Kurt Gumashell, Councillor Jamie Hurdle. Let's get this over with.
Are you counting?
No, just go for it. Are we nominating
right.
people? That was colder than I thought it would be. All right. We will be making a donation to ALS after that. And I would also, at this time, say that we should be challenging some other people in the community. I'm going to go with the staff of the St. Andrews Brewing Company.
I will challenge Bill Rigby and any of his fellow St. Andrews firefighters.
I'll challenge Better Call Paul Logan, real estate magnate here in St. Andrews.
I will challenge, just because he's in Ottawa doesn't mean he can get away from this, but Councillor Mark Blanchard and the rest of the councillors, that's Kate, that's Mark Bennett, that's Daryl Weir, that is Lee, that is Annette, you're not off the hook.
Thank you.
Amazing. I guess that means today's guest, Jacob Rose, who works at the St. Andrews Brewing Company, will be one of the next people to take the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge.
I feel like we have to follow this challenge as it makes its way across southwest New Brunswick.
I just feel sorry whoever gets nominated in January.
I know, we were very smart to do it in August, but I'm just wondering if that means we can be re-challenged.
I'm going to have to check with Victoria McGuire on that one. I guess we'll find out. Until then, see you next time on Good Day from the Bay.
Take care, everyone, and good day from the Bay.
Good Day from the Bay is produced through the facilities of CHCO Television with support from people in our region.